Great singer. What else do you do?
Well, of course, I love to sing, and I love to dance and act, and I love swimming.
I was very nervous. I kept telling myself, this is it. This is what you've wanted. This is the real deal. Now you gotta do your thing. You gotta put all of you in this.
Singer and actress Aaliyah Dana Haughton was born on January 16, 1979, in Brooklyn, New York, to her parents, Michael and Diane Haughton. Raised in Detroit, Michigan, the home of the great Motown, Aaliyah would always be singing around her house and practicing, telling her parents that one day she would be a big singer and a huge star. Her dreams almost came true at an early age with the chance to perform on the popular TV show Star Search.
Competition on Star Search with Ed McMahon.
For some who have won or came close to winning, sometimes record deals would be offered, but Aaliyah was offered none. A heartbroken Aaliyah cried to her parents, not understanding how she didn't win, when it was blatantly obvious that Aaliyah's performance was better than the young girl she was competing against. This major disappointment for her turned into an opportunity when her uncle Barry Hankerson organized for her to sing with legendary singer Gladys Knight, who happened to be married to at the time. This gave Aaliyah the chance to perform 5 nights in a row during Gladys Knight's Las Vegas residency concerts. By age 12, Aaliyah would gain a record deal with Jive Records through her Uncle Barry's Black Ground Records label. Her Uncle Barry at the time was managing one of the biggest R&B acts in the early 1990s named R. Kelly. Aaliyah's Uncle Barry would have him give her vocal training as well as writing songs for her very first studio album.
First and second verse with a hammer, so we're gonna go through the third verse.
An innocent Aaliyah would be eager to learn anything there is about the music industry. Each time she hit the booth, she slayed in the studio. Production of the album would take 1 full year between 1993 and 1994 to record, when R. Kelly told Aaliyah's uncle that he would have the first album ready in 6 to 8 months. But that was virtually impossible, with Aaliyah not being able to record until summertime due to her schooling. The production of the album would take an unexpected turn because R. Kelly had begun a secret relationship with Aaliyah, who at the time was only 14 years of age. Nobody knew of this from Aaliyah's family at the time. The only people who had known was R. Kelly's then road manager Demetrius Smith, his friends from the group Public Announcement, and his backup studio singer Javante Cunningham. Even Aaliyah's brother Rashad would later find out before her parents. Many people knew the extent of the relationship but neglected to even tell Aaliyah's parents or inform anyone what was going on between an underage Aaliyah and R. Kelly. January 16th, 1994, Aaliyah's 15th birthday, and the day she's supposed to film the music video for her first video, Back and Forth. On the set, a wardrobe specialist would begin to show Aaliyah girly outfits like dresses and tight jeans, but Aaliyah said to her that she isn't into the girly things and she is more of a tomboy and asked for baggier clothing, which was more of her style. Aaliyah would sport a halter top, jean jacket, baggy jeans, big boots, black bandana, and dark shades to complete her look. Her video and single for Back and Forth would premiere, and the promotion for the album would begin with interviews. A promotional interview on BET Video Soul Gold with Big Les raised questions about the rumored relationship between Aaliyah and R. Kelly and a confirmation of Aaliyah's age.
Let's clear something up, because you know I've been getting a rundown on the street. Everybody seems to think that y'all are either girlfriend or boyfriend, or cousins, or friends. Let's just get the record straight.
I better go get me a white Jeep.
Well, no, we're not related at all. No, we're not. We're just very close. He's my best friend.
Yeah, cool.
Now, who found who?
In the whole wide world.
And for the record, you are how old?
That's a secret.
Women doesn't disclose her age.
At that moment, even though the relationship was denied, it still wouldn't stop the public from keeping their eye on the two of them. The album for Age Ain't Nothing But a Number would be released May 24th, 1994, and would chart on the Billboard 200 at number 24. By this time, Jive Records would arrange for Aaliyah to begin even further promotion by organizing some tour dates to last between summer 1994 and early 1995. But before taking off to the UK part of the promotion tour, R. Kelly and Aaliyah would get married on August 31st, 1994. At the time, R. Kelly was 27 years of age and Aaliyah was 15. To go further into this story, R. Kelly had help in this matter of illegally marrying a minor with his then road manager Demetrius Smith, who had heavy involvement in helping this illegal marriage happen. He had this to say in a 2019 interview.
When you found out that R. Kelly married Aaliyah, what did you say to him? What did you do? How did you feel?
When I found out,
yeah, you were there, right?
That he married Aaliyah, right? I was there.
Yeah.
When I found out, we were on tour. When I realized,
you was at the wedding, right? You was at the wedding in the room, right?
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
Yes, I was.
And why would you be at that wedding knowing that she was underage?
Why? Like I say, when this stuff happened, it just happened.
A wedding would take place that same day in a hotel room, and here's where the story takes a turn for the worst. Media would begin to circulate about something more than just a relationship. The media was beginning to say they had gotten married, and by December 1994, Vibe magazine would print an article which featured the marriage license of Aaliyah and R. Kelly, which had labeled her as 18 when in fact she was only 15 at the time. This article that came out forced Aaliyah to tell her parents about the marriage, which resulted in Aaliyah's parents letting her Uncle Barry know that at the end of the promotional tour, Aaliyah would be leaving Jive Records and signing to Atlantic. By February 1995, the annulment of the marriage to R. Kelly would be finalized and Aaliyah would move on to Atlantic Records to begin working on her sophomore album, 1 in a Million. On this album, she would ask for creative control, and her creative control pointed in the direction of Missy Misdemeanor Elliott and Timothy Timberland Mosley, two of the hottest producers in the game at the time. This album, however, would show Aaliyah's musical maturity.
This album it shows the growth of the past 2 years. I'm 17 now, so I've grown in a lot of ways, and this album shows that. It shows my vocal, I think it shows all of my vocal range. I took a lot of risks on the album. I tried different things, and that's the main change from the two albums.
Aaliyah's album for 1 in a Million would be released August 27th, 1996. This album would reach number 20 on the Billboard 200 and will remain on the charts for a whopping 67 weeks. At this point in Aaliyah's career, she was well known for her singing, her beauty, her fashion sense, and genuine charismatic ability when it came to her stage performances. By 1997, Aaliyah would be tapped by the producers at Disney to sing the theme song for their animated film, Anastasia. They had chosen Aaliyah being that the movie's producers felt she had an angelic voice and would fit into the mood of the movie's theme. The song is called Journey to the Past, and it would get Aaliyah a nomination for Best Original Song at the 1998 Oscars, but the award would go to Celine Dion's My Heart Will Go On.
People always say life is full of choices. No one ever mentions fear or how the road can seem so long.
Also in 1998, Aaliyah would go into the studio with Timbaland and songwriter Static Major to record a new song. Now that new song, of course at that time, was called Are You That Somebody? And according to Static Major, Aaliyah, when she arrived to the studio, let it be known right off the bat to both him and Timbaland that she didn't like the song. Timbaland had to convince her that the song was a hit and fit her style. Aaliyah did agree to record the song, and the complete song would be recorded and mixed over the course of 11 hours. This song would be the theme song on the movie to Dr. Dolittle. This song would be one of Aaliyah's biggest hits. Are You That Somebody will receive a slew of nominations, such as a Grammy nomination, Kids' Choice Award nomination, MTV Music Video and Movie Award nominations, NAACP Image Award nomination, and a Lady of Soul Award nomination.
Aaliyah is currently in the studio working on her third album.
We're still in the beginning of the recording. We just started maybe a month ago, so we're looking maybe first of the year.
That same year in 1998, Aaliyah would begin the principal production on her third album. She began production under Atlantic Records, and by its completion, she would have signed to Virgin Records while still remaining under Black Round Records as her main label. During this time, Aaliyah would express interest in acting, and the role of a lifetime will be offered to her.
I've been taking scripts, and one project in particular has come about that I'm going to do, so I will be doing a movie soon. And that's something I did when I was younger, so I was just waiting pretty much for the right vehicle to come along. So I will be crossing that line as well.
Hollywood producer Joe Silver says the role of Trish in the movie Romeo Must Die was written specifically with Aaliyah in mind as a counterpart for martial arts star Jet Li.
Joel is absolutely hysterical. I think he's one of the funniest people that I've met. He's really nice. Joel knows how to get what he wants, and I love that. He's really cool people. He's great to work with. You know, he's one of the biggest producers, and he's really cool people.
Filming would begin summer 1999, and when filming wrapped, certain scenes were tested among urban audiences, which included a kiss between Aaliyah and Jet Li. Now, according to this documentary called The Slanted Screen, the characters of Han and Trish were supposed to have a kiss, and which explains the title of the movie Romeo. But this on-screen kiss didn't do so well with urban audiences, and the producers would have the editor remove the scene from the film. With this movie also came Aaliyah's second biggest hit, Try Again. The day of the red carpet premiere of Romeo Must Die, and the critics couldn't wait to slam the film, but much to their dislike, the film would take in $91 million of $25 million spent to make it. This movie was Aaliyah's big debut on the screen, and her star in the realm of acting would grow even further when she would audition for the role of Queen Akasha, also known as the Queen of Vampires from the Anne Rice novels.
Come out, wherever you are.
In summer 2000, Aaliyah would begin friendships with both Jay-Z and Dame Dash. Both guys, of course, would want more than friendship with her, but ultimately, Dame Dash and Aaliyah would become closer, and they would soon begin to start dating. Things would become serious between the two of them, and they would eventually discuss marriage. Dame Dash and Aaliyah, they would date up until her passing.
We did a month of rehearsals before shooting, and I had all that time to figure out who Akasha was, movements, her speech and everything, but finally getting into the costume and getting into the makeup just completed it.
Filming and production for the film Queen of the Damned would take place in Australia. Aaliyah would fly in her production team and Static Major minus Timbaland and Missy to continue working on her third album. Timbaland and Missy wouldn't be there for this part of the album's production due to issues with Blackground Records. Aaliyah would film her parts of the film during the day and recorded songs for the album at night. She said in an interview to Billboard, "There were nights where I didn't go into the studio. I was too tired. On the weekends, I always made it." Filming for Queen of the Damned would last from October 2002 to the end of February 2001, with a deadline of March 2001 for the completion of the album. Weeks before the deadline, Timbaland would hop on board and produce 3 of the tracks from the album. The album, simply titled Aaliyah, will be completed and released on July 7, 2001. The first song released will be the Timbaland-produced song, We Need a Resolution. On August 21st, 2009, Aaliyah would visit 106 in Park here in New York.
Now, your album has been out since mid-July, and it's been doing so well. We got to congratulate you on that.
I have to thank all of you guys for that. Thank you.
And We Need a Resolution did so good on the countdown. Then we got to know what the next video is, and I hope you're saying it's a song I love.
Yes, it's Rock the Boat.
Yes!
It's Rock the Boat.
Yeah! Now, when can we expect that?
I shoot the video tomorrow, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
And that video should be out, and we're hoping like beginning of September.
I can't wait.
We're actually doing singles back to back. We're doing Rock the Boat first, then we're dropping More Than a Woman. So we got them coming back.
She would reveal to AJ and Free on 106 in Park that she would be heading to Miami the following day to film scenes for her music video for the next single. On August 22nd, she would film underwater water shots. On August 23rd, Aaliyah and employees of Virgin Records flew to the Bahamas on 2 flights using Fairchild Metro 3 chartered through Sky Limo. She was scheduled to leave the Bahamas on August 26th, but chose to leave the day before since she had finished early. Saturday, August 25th, 2001, Aaliyah, friends, and crew from the video shoot at 6:50 p.m. EDT were aboard a twin-engine Cessna 402B aircraft at the Marsh Harbor Airport located on the Abaco Islands. This was to be their return flight home to the U.S. via the Apalaca Airport in Florida. The aircraft was from Black Hawk International Airways and was flown by Luis Morales, who was over 2 hours late. Upon his arrival, the aircraft would be loaded up with the luggage and the equipment of everyone who was to be on the flight. There was a total of 9 people aboard the aircraft: pilot Luis Morales, Aaliyah, hairstylist Eric Foreman, Anthony Dodd, security guard Scott Gallen, family friend Keith Wallace, makeup artist Chris Maldonado, and Blackground Records employees Douglas Kratz and Gina Smith. A small but brief argument would ensue between Luis Morales, Aaliyah, and everyone getting on the flight about there being too much weight on the aircraft. The aircraft designated for the return flight was smaller than the one on which they had originally arrived, and everyone was ready to get back to the U.S. The pilot, Luis Morales, would get quiet and tell everyone to settle in and buckle up, being that he was preparing for takeoff. Despite he knew that there was a potential trouble with the engines, he would still attempt the flight. The aircraft would begin to roll down the runway and would slowly take to the sky. The flight would make it 60 to 100 feet into the air, and during takeoff, the twin engine would begin to fail. Within seconds of taking off, the aircraft would crash just 200 feet from the runway. Aaliyah, Luis Morales, Eric Foreman, Anthony Dodd, Keith Wallace, Christopher Maldonado, Douglas Kratz and Gina Smith were killed instantly upon impact of the crash. Aaliyah's security guard Scott Gallen would survive the initial impact, but would die moments after asking if Aaliyah was okay, before he himself would pass away from his injuries. 9 people total would perish in this unfortunate accident. According to information that came out about Black Hawk pilot Luis Morales, just 3 weeks before the plane crash, he will be busted and arrested for possession of crack cocaine, and his autopsy will reveal that he tested positive for cocaine abuse as well as having alcohol in his system. His being over 2 hours late was possibly from a binge just before that flight. At the time of Aaliyah's death, she was only 22 years old. Her remains will be returned to her family in the U.S. on August 28, 2001, with a memorial service happening just 4 days after. The day of the memorial service is a day that I'll never forget, as I was there to witness the hurt and the pain her family was experiencing, alongside hundreds of fans like myself who lined the streets of Manhattan, New York to say our goodbyes. 22 white doves were released in her memory as a silver casket was carried down the stairs of St. Ignatius Loyola Roman Catholic Church to a horse-driven glass-paneled carriage. Her final resting place is here in Ferncliff Cemetery in Westchester County, New York. After Aaliyah's passing, there was uncertainty about what her family wanted to do with her completed works like her video for Rock the Boat and More Than a Woman, which she filmed the weekend before filming Rock the Boat. There was also decisions to be made about the movie Queen of the Damned. The video for Rock the Boat and Aaliyah's last moments behind the scenes were recorded by BET producer Kevin Taylor for an access granted special for the video premiere that she had planned for her fans before she passed. Rock the Boat would premiere October 9, 2001, and would show Aaliyah dancing on a yacht, dancing on the beach, and swimming underwater. The end of the video was the most shocking for most of us fans, as it shows Aaliyah swimming to the top of the water into a bright light as if she was going into heaven. The final music video released from Aaliyah's album was the music video for More Than a Woman. Aaliyah's mother, Diane, would reach out to the producers of the movie, letting them know that they can put the movie out, as she would have wanted this movie to be put out for her fans. Diane would then be told that Aaliyah's recorded audio in the film needed additional rendering and layering, and that's when Diane suggested Aaliyah's brother, Rashad. He would then record the required audio layers, and the Queen of the Damned movie would be released February 22nd, 2002. The legacy of Aaliyah will continue on with the release of the 2002 posthumous album, I Care For You, with songs that she recorded between the years 1996 and 2001. The album would reach #1 on the R&B hip-hop albums charts, with praise from fans and critics alike. The very first single and video released for this album would be I Miss You, which features all of Aaliyah's friends and collaborators from the music industry. In recent years, with all the new ways that we listen to music, no music platforms like Spotify or Apple has any of Aaliyah's music with the exception of her debut album, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. The current question being raised worldwide is, when is Aaliyah's catalog being released? Well, in 2020, despite we have no Aaliyah music on any of the streaming platforms besides her debut album, her fans are the very ones keeping her legacy alive. Aaliyah may be gone, but what she means to the culture of music and lasting impression she left on my generation in the 90s, the current generation, and future generations to come. She is more than a singer, more than a woman, and more than an actress. She is Aaliyah, the highest, most exalted one, and this is her legacy. Thanks everybody, and much love to everyone who tuned into this video. Please like, subscribe, and comment on these videos as there's more coming from my channel. Take care everybody, and I'll see you next time for the next continuation in my Legacy series.